I thought I would bring up, I can't bring it up that way. The sessions at ATD TK, which is next week. I was hoping I could look by, I can, maybe? Maybe I could do keywords like virtual reality. No? I was hoping I could, there we go, AR, VR, mixed reality. So let me share for you guys so you can see what I'm seeing. No. I think I forgot how to share my screen on here. Oh, God. There it is. Chrome tab. There we go.
Oh, are you sharing on the big? Oh, there it is.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably a little bit of a delay. Internet here is not that great. But yeah, so next week is ATD TK. They do have a virtual program. If you can't attend in person, but you still want to, I think you could still sign up. It is a pretty spendy conference, so if you can get an employer to pay for it, it's always, the better way to go. But there's still time if you want to attend virtually. My session's fully online, so it's part of that track there. But there's a ton going on for AR and VR. So we've got Destry speaking on bring your own device session with Betty Danowitz, the dynamic duo in XR. And then driving adoption in the metaverse. We've got Amanda Harwood and Sarah Dugan. And of course, our lovely Kristin Torrence from Tailspin is designing beyond reality, a beginner's guide to VR learning design on Thursday. And then my session's right after that, so you can actually see us both if you like. And then virtual reality, stop dabbling and start disrupting. That sounds like a fun one. Maybe I can catch the recording of that one. So.
Tristia, are you sharing your screen? I see a black screen.
Oh no!
I'm in a headset, so maybe that's why. Is everyone else on desktop, and I'm the only one in a headset today? Oh, no one can ask.
Oh no!
I'm on desktop. Okay.
Yeah.
And I can see it. All right. Well, anyway, no big deal. I could imagine.
Oh, bummer. Okay, well, I did actually, there's a lot of stuff I wanted to screen share today. So that may be hard.
Can I just jump off and join?
You might, I think you might get more out of it. Yeah, especially if it's not coming up on the headset. That's such a bummer. Sorry.
I'll do that and I'll make sure I'm in pro.
And if we can't hear you, we can't hear you, push M over and over, and if that doesn't work, then,
All right, I'm going to try. I'll see y'all in a bit.
Sorry, got a little hoarse. I'm going to throw just the link to that. You can to the sessions on ATD's website. I'll throw that in the chat there for you guys. And then, if you want to check out other sessions or any of the rest of them, so at least I think 5 sessions for a 3-day conference on mixed reality is pretty awesome. That's a pretty good lineup. Kristin, did you want to share anything about your session, or?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm putting food in my mouth right now. I definitely do think that is 5 sessions for this conference is quite a lot. I attended this conference last year, and I feel like there were only about 4 4 sessions related to AR VR. So hopefully that means there's growing. Related to what, I guess, I'm happy to talk a little bit about what my session is. Do you mind if I share my screen?
Sure, let me figure out how to stop. Okay, there we go. Oh, that was a cute little graphic, that like cutscene, kind of old film style. Did anybody else see that? I thought that was cute. Maybe it's just for the displayer.
Everybody see that?
I can see it.
I know I can see it on my end. Okay. Yeah. I'm not playing this right now. I was actually added a short clip of Ready Player One simply because my session will be at co-located with 3 other sessions, and I just kind of wanted an attention grabber. So that's really what that video is all about. Once that session starts, and then folks are grabbing their headsets. So really the first part of my presentation is talking about presence and immersion, and then really how we design for both perceptual realism and conceptual realism. So I really go into detail about perception through our eyes, and some of the design decisions that we may need to make in order to facilitate presence and immersion through the types of things that we're designing for, such as interactions and haptics, and limiting proprioceptive disconnect. So we're sort of going into detail around senses. And then I will post this in our Slack channel, but this is page 1 of the workbook that I'll be distributing there. And it's really like an ideation canvas, and I'm going to have everyone sort of brainstorm what they may see, hear, and feel in a particular context. And this brainstorm session is the driver's seat of the car. And I sort of do the same thing with conceptual realism. So how we design for certain schemas about how things work, such as our environment or our perception of ourselves and what we're able to do within the virtual world. And then also how objects interact and how we could design objects so that they really are aligned to how people think about objects and expect objects to behave in the virtual world. Similar to how we expect other humans to behave, that really helps be realistic. And the second page of this worksheet is all about ideating about that sort of conceptual realism. So how do we what things are we expecting from the environment, from the objects, as just sort of a brainstorm session. This is an active learning session, so really just trying to flip the way in which folks are thinking about learning design and incorporating some of these more 3D elements to it. And then, of course, some of those aspects are the same. So I'll talk about learning sciences and different learning theories and the design decisions that we may want to make if we are aligning our design to particular learning theories. And then another activity on performance task analysis and how that then translates into how we create a virtual reality experience. So how each of these components serve to inform our design decisions when we're creating our design documentation. And then I have some examples of design documentation. Some of you may have already seen. I kind of repurposed these slides from a previous design document and storyboard, but just wanted to show some examples and examples of storyboarding as well. So I'm happy to provide, I have a full link to all of these slides that everyone can have as well. And then I'll be talking about how, like, the reason why we may want to evaluate VR learning solutions, when we do so, and like why it's so important. And then sort of when we're thinking about some example research questions that are design focused that happen during the iterative design process, impact focused that really happen after implementation and then inform the next build and some easier testing methods. But essentially, these are really the key takeaways of my entire session. That is primarily meant to be more so hands-on. But thinking about presence and immersion, defining what learners need to know, perceive, attend to, and do, how to create design documentation, which may look very different, right? I feel like no design document is the same. It really depends on the needs of every project, and same with storyboards. So I'm happy to provide a copy of this deck as well as a copy of that workbook for everyone, if that's of interest.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Kristin. I attended an earlier iteration of this session, and I thought it was really awesome, and it was super fun to work through the activity. So, highly recommend. I really like that our topics are very complementary and don't actually overlap a whole lot. Even though they're both about designing for VR, I think your session goes a lot more into like the theory and conceptualizing design, and mine is a little bit more on the technical side and managing development and like kind of, I guess, like working with different programs, different tools that you can use, different terminology and things that you should know when you're working with, designing for VR development. So I think our sessions are really complementary, actually.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm really excited to check out your session.
Oh, thank you. I think it was fun in person. I wish I was doing it in person because I've wanted to change some things up. So when that happens again, I will. I have some ideas. So I'm working on how can I translate those ideas and make it a little bit more interactive as a virtual session. So if anybody has any pointers on that front, I would love to hear advice or any tips or tricks you might have for presenting virtually. For this session, I'd like to make it more interactive. So any way I can do that would be great. But I'm anxious to get onto our topic of the day. I did line up some really, really cool AI tools for VR development and design. And so the screen recording is going to be a little weird on this one because I'm going to keep going back and forth between my notes. But I wanted to start off with some things, a little promo video that Unity is working with, or Unity is developed for their tool. So this is, oops. I have to screen share, don't I? 1 second. Hopefully my bandwidth here can handle this. All right, let's cross our fingers here. All right, can you guys see the YouTube window?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, cool. this is for, I'll just let you guys watch because it's pretty cool. Oh, turn those off. Oh no, I'm gonna let it buffer for a second and pause it. Hopefully that helps. But this is an AI tool built into Unity that allows you to develop different kinds of functions in Unity with AI tools. And it's things from using OpenAI AI tools to help with scripting code for certain interactions, to using a text input to describe certain kinds of animations. So I'm going to give it a play and see if it cooperates a little. It's trying so hard. Might have to skip over some of the YouTube ones. So it's going pretty fast here. I'll put the link in the chat too, so you guys can watch this a little more pleasantly on your own time. So generating different textures for objects and environments. What we saw here earlier was, kind of describing what kind of motion animation you would like your character to have. And it applies that motion animation to the character. In this example here, we're looking at this house where, someone wants to change what the roof looks like. So they highlight that area and they describe what they want, and they're given some different options. So those are some of the things that are happening with Unity development. Are you guys able to kind of see some of it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let me throw, this is, I'm actually going to put in the chat a link to another one. This was the, did it go? There we go. Oh, well, that's weird. I just put messages in the chat with the links and they showed up and then they disappeared. So let me know if you guys can't see them. That was weird.
It is showing up.
Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. If you guys want to read more about, it's called Muse, is the project that Unity is working on to incorporate OpenAI. I think it's OpenAI that they're using as far as their language learning model. Yeah. This next one is a tool that I have been waiting for a long time. I have featured this tool in my session before, and I'll probably feature it again. It's called Versi AI, and they are pre-release, so this is not actually available yet. I have been on the wait list for almost a year, and I swear as soon as I know more, you guys will too. But this is a text-to-space or text-to-environment generator. So you essentially describe the three-dimensional environment that you would like to create. So there they say at the bottom, turn the space into a conference room with a big table and chairs, etc., etc. And Versi just kind of starts going to work. Note this is conceptual, so I don't know how far along they are in this functionality, but I feel like this would be a huge game changer for development. So it's saying create another room behind this wall. So yeah, I thought that one was really cool. You can go and request access on their site if you're interested. I'm going to go ahead and, it's a big mouth, drop that link in the chat for that video. But if you go to Versi.ai, you can sign up for their waitlist. And then next one I want to show you guys. This is Luma Labs, and feel free to hop in if you have any recommendations or know of any other tools that I haven't shared up yet. Feel free to let me know. I love to learn about it and play around with it. This is Luma Labs is a 3D object generator. So I am going to say let's do a green and yellow kabuki character with rabbit ears. I don't know, I'm just trying to come up with something random. Oh, it's going to make me sign in. I thought I did this already, so I thought it would save me, but it's not going to. Just 1 second. Let's try that. Oh my goodness. Gotta love that two-step. I don't have it. That's odd. There we go. All right. Continue. I thought I had already signed up with that email, so but I guess not. So we're going to hit create. And it gives me some options here, which I think is kind of amazing. I kind of like this one on the bottom left, this like rabbit samurai kabuki guy. And you can kind of choose some different options from there, but I can spin him around, look at it from all angles. I want to just see what this does if I okay, so it says it's going to take a couple minutes to make it high res, so maybe we'll just look at something else in the meantime and check on it in a minute. And then, so that's Luma Labs, Luma AI. There's another similar tool called Meshy AI, but I think I'm just going to put all these links together for you guys and throw it in the Slack channel afterward because I have a lot more I want to share. Not a whole lot more, but a couple more. I want to make sure we get to the cool stuff. So this other one, let me see, make sure I'm still sharing the right thing. Okay, cool. This is Blockade Labs Skybox Generator. So you can actually use Skybox AI in Unity. So they have a plugin that you can download from the Unity Asset Store and install in your version of Unity and generate skyboxes directly in Unity without having to generate it outside, download it, import it, etc. So gives you some little prompts on how to get started. But I'm gonna just kind of come up with something new. Let's do an alien world with cyberpunk-like city, flying cars, and robots around. 2 moons in the sky. Maybe do like city with high rises, maybe be specific. Found with AI, any of them. I did not like that. There we go. As specific as you can be definitely helps. Choose some styles, probably futuristic style. I think it would go really well with that. Okay, so these are all with their paid plans, so no access to those, unfortunately, but that's kind of cool. We can do digital painting as a style or anime as a style. So any of the ones without that little special icon, I guess, are just included free. Radiant painting, it's kind of neat. I'm gonna go with, let's just do, I don't know. So that's cool. They're under realistic. There was like interiors, so you could do like a general warehouse skybox, or some kind of corporate space. So let's see. Where was I? I was going to choose. Which one was I going to choose? Surreal, or kind of crazy. The illustrative. Yeah, we'll do digital painting. Sure. And then generate. And I think you get like a certain amount of generations per day or something, like with most of them. I think it's going to take some time. Maybe we can switch back to Luma and see. Oh, it's almost done. Never mind. So this is our skybox. It's kind of cool. Crazy. So a little bit of distortion on some of this skybox stuff. I wonder if it's just, I don't know. I've seen some like do planets and moons really well. It seems like it's not really getting it in this one that well. For some reason, they're more like giant goose eggs. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool. You can remix, keep the general structure and fine tune it, change things like time of day, weather, materials, the style. So there's a lot of like different, capability, I think there, especially for a free tool. Pretty cool. Yeah, it looks like Luma Labs needs a little more time. So in the meantime, if it lets me, have any of you guys played around with any of the like AI image generation stuff or 3D generation stuff? Midjourney or Dolly 2 or any of those?
Yeah, I've played around with Midjourney quite a bit, at least to enhance a lot of the slide decks I've been creating in the last couple months. But I haven't actually used it anytime like within the last week or two. So very cool. I actually, now that I think about it, just earlier this week, I was playing around with Kuiper. Have you ever tried to do that?
With what one was that?
Yeah, I've played around a bit with Kuiper.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to make you can make like these generative videos. I helped my husband make a couple of videos the other day.
Oh, that's cool. Throw a link in the chat if you don't mind. I had a hard time hearing the name of it. It's just over the music in here. So this is so one thing I will try to share the link to. there is a way you can like animate some of your AI image generate like AI generated images. You can animate them using a different AI tool, and then like it just kind of creates like a little short clip animation. It's not really anything long or fancy, but they there's a couple of folks on like TikTok and stuff who do these like short animated videos and of different like really crazy cool futuristic art that they've run through this animator, and it's just awesome. It's mind-boggling stuff. Like I'll find the link to it and post that along with all of the links from today. This one is something that I feel like is just absolutely game-changing, literally for games. But as we get into things like using VR for training, I think it's just going to be such an amazing thing to see people incorporate tools like this, where you can actually talk to characters in the game and interact with them without everything that they say being scripted and all of your responses needing to be like already recorded. Like instead of having to choose from a series of responses, you can just talk to them, and that I think is just absolutely amazing. And so this is one I wanted to show you where someone actually implemented that. So I chose this one specifically because it kind of describes what's happening. So Unreal Engine is using OpenAI's GPT to directly interact with NPCs. And there's a couple of these videos that I found where people were able to put this tool into their game, whether it was that they kind of adjusted the code or they created their own patch. There's different. I don't really know that much about exactly the methodology behind how they did this, but it's really, really cool. Like this one up here, this guy tries to convince AI NPCs, non-playing characters, so not real people, but like characters in the game that you can interact with, that they're living in a simulation. And the responses, this one is hilarious. I will definitely throw the link to that one in there because it is just too funny. The responses range from like angry to accepting to kind of like melancholy, like I wish I was real, to like total denial, to like, like, yep, I'm just a program. I just do my thing. That's what I do. It's just cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this one and full screen it. Probably turn on CCs. I don't know if you guys will hear it. Oh no. I was hoping it would load a little bit. Maybe let's jump into some of the good stuff. Woof. God, that's brutal. But you can see this guy at the top here is actually talking into his microphone, and the game's the game's AI is reading his speech and interpreting it and developing an AI generated response that the character then says out in response to the player. It looks like that's probably not going to work out too well. So let me see if I can grab this other one that I feel like is actually kind of a good training example, where they have whatever program it is that they created, where they have NPC chatbots coach them on how to talk to people at a party in VR. So these are all non-playing characters. They're all fake characters that have this AI response capabilities. Um, and they kind of I see it as maybe a potential tool in helping people overcome um, social anxiety. There's an example over here with a voice chat with a GPT driven therapist in VR, which I haven't looked at that one, but really cool concept, I think. Some potential for weird stuff, I think, where AI is right now, because it's not totally reliable, but for maybe just, how to talk to people more easily, it's kind of a cool idea. I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit. So this is your friend that you're talking to here.
Hi, thanks so much for having me out today. I don't know anyone in the party. Can you give me some tips about how to use it?
So he's saying here he got the delays down a bit and didn't cut them out. So what they're the delay in response. So the guy just kind of stands there and stares at you after you talk to him for a while because so much is happening, and that's the speech to text, the chat GPT, and then the text to speech. So there's for the response time to even be as slow as it is in this video, which he's left the delays in this video, so it's kind of awkward when they just stand there and stare. But I think it's amazing with how some of the other videos I've seen how short that delay gets.
No problem, Tom. Just be yourself. Try to find some common ground with people. Ask them about their interests or what they do for a living. And don't be afraid to join in on conversations. Oh, and maybe grab a drink.
Some social lubrication does help a lot of folks. Don't know that it should be advocating drinking for for every audience, but we're all adults here.
Greg, do you think I could ask these guys about which vector database? All right, Tom.
So his coach interrupted him when he started getting too nerdy and told him to go talk up with some of the ladies instead.
Any other conversations? Why don't you go over and introduce yourself?
So I'm going to jump ahead just a little bit. And it's actually kind of adorable. They end up being really nice.
Just one last thought.
So he's asking them, how did you find the party? The one on the left says, oh, she doesn't really like partying that much, but she came anyway.
Not yet. You're the first one to talk to.
So the delay is a little eerie. They just kind of stand there and stare at Tom for a while. But yeah, again, I'll throw that in the chat so you guys can check all these out on your own time and without all of the terrible lag. And yeah, checking back on our Luma Labs character, unfortunately, that's at 45%, so that kind of sucks. But I'll tell you what, I'll do a little screen share when it comes on, and or a screen recording or something, and just turn it into a short little video and share that on Slack so you guys can see what the finished product looked like. I'm curious. I haven't actually tried this out with a high res tool before, so I'm curious to see what happens there. But yeah, I have a couple more links, but they're mostly just YouTube videos that I think we can just throw in the links list, and you guys can check out the ones that are interesting to you, and yeah, see what's out there. There's some really really cool things going on. Yes, Party Simulator. That's it's a brave new world out there. Like pretty crazy. So yeah, what did you guys think? Is there anything that is blowing your mind, or like some of it? It's like it's really cool and amazing, but at the same time, it's like when is it gonna get really cool, like really serious and applicable? Does anybody feel that way?
Yeah, I felt like especially the party simulator, that was the one I think that intrigued me the most. I missed, what, do you know, was that like a Unity thing, or what was that developed in? You know?
I don't know. I think he might have programmed that himself. I'll throw that
That was
one.
pretty advanced looking.
Yeah, he might have done that himself. I threw the link in the chat. Again, I can't see my own messages in the chat for some reason. I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah, I don't see them either.
Oh, lame.
I thought it was ironic. The funny thing was when you were showing this guy telling us how to interact with these other virtual characters, and meanwhile I'm looking around at us in spatial, and we're all just sitting there staring like at the screen, and it's just this weird kind of meta experience. We are avatars looking at avatars on.
That is so meta. Oh my god, I love it. That's crazy. That is so crazy. I'm actually just gonna open up Slack and throw them in right now.
Yeah, regarding the messages not being shown, I think it's good that they didn't post links in the chat anymore. At least I tried that with another like a few days ago or so, and it wouldn't let me post like links in the chat for some reason. So it could be the same here.
Oh, that's crazy.
Hey, we can hear you, but you do. Yeah, we can hear you. You know what you did?
I wasn't able to post links at all. I'm not sure how to solve that. I just noticed that a few days ago.
Cool. I threw the links in the chat so you guys can check those out without all of the terrible lag and background noise and all that. But yeah, really, really cool things happening. I think like a lot of this tech, it's getting there so fast. It's not quite there, and I wish. Part of me wishes it would just hurry itself along a little bit, but I'm already having a hard time keeping up. So it's a push and pull, I guess.
Yeah, same. I feel like I'm already behind.
I know it. Like it's just there's every day something new. Sorry, Terry. What was that?
Oh, it's gotten dramatically better just in the last
Oh, totally. I came across. I know we've talked about this in other meetups before. How AI has like a really hard time with hands, and the hands always end up like really uncanny valley and creepy and distorted. But I saw some examples recently, and I thought it was with Midjourney, but it might have been a different tool. I'm not sure. Tell me if you guys have used Midjourney for any images with hands and what your experience has been recently. But and I mean recently, like the last month, maybe. So the last 3 or 4 weeks. And the examples were amazing. Like they were so realistic. I don't know how much refining they had to do of prompts, but I wouldn't have been able to tell that it wasn't just a photo of a real person with maybe like a filter on or some really light Photoshop or something, like great photography lighting. I don't know. It looked so real.
Thanks for the update. Yeah, I am eager to kind of try that out to see how that's evolved. Because I do remember when it was, it was like widely known that the hands were all kind of like funky. I definitely tried it, just tried to experiment with it. But now that I know that it's working a little better now, I'm just very curious to see like the fidelity of it.
Well, awesome. Let me know if you guys have any questions on any of this stuff. All the links are in Slack. If I find any other cool stuff around it, I'll definitely share. Yeah, when I have fine-tuned my slides for my ATD presentation, I'll throw those in the Slack channel as well with some other resources. I think I've shared them before, but I know Slack doesn't keep stuff for very long since we're on the free plan. But yeah, thank you guys for joining and listening to all the stuff. And please share if you find cool things and cool AI tools, even if it's not just for VR. I'd love to hear about it and see how you guys are using that tech. And definitely throw some. Write up something or send some links or something in Slack and share your experience. Our community is all about learning and growing together.
Thank you so much for sharing all of that. It was awesome.
Great. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.
And Kristin, be sure to put your slides in Slack.
I think she did already. that was fast. Yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing all that, Kristin. I know it's going to be a great session.
Thanks. Yeah. If for any reason those links are inaccessible, please do let me know. Happy to share. All right. Have a great evening, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks all.
Good luck with your presentations, ladies.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Tristia.
Thank you. Have a great night. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.